Hey SaaS people, hello from Omnistrate. Today we're going to demo our platform capabilities when it comes to deploying a master replica setup of MySQL. Let's jump right into action. I have pre-deployed a master and a replica instance of a MySQL service in my AWS account and my favorite region. At the same time, as you can notice, I also deployed a master on Google Cloud. You can create new instances, start, stop, and reboot, but also explore their details. You can take this instance and start it, for example. Then we can explore the details. On the connectivity tab, we can check our global endpoint. Okay, now let's connect to our instance. Awesome. Let's use our database. Cool. Now let's create a table. There we are. Let's fill it with some data. Cool. Your customers will be able to perform a different set of actions. Let's say they want to manage the access control themselves by inviting users with different roles and send your invites. Easy as that. They will also be able to check the list of events relevant to their deployment. Okay, let's check our metrics, for example. As you can see, we can explore our CPU usage, our load average, total RAM, and the used one. Of course, we can also see the system uptime, which is great. You can see a bunch of cool graphs about it. Then we can check our logs. Okay, but what about our serverless setup? Basically, our master and replica are connected together. So every time I run a query on the replica, I will also wake up master and not only the replica. In this case, you can see the replica has stopped. So let's run a query and see what happens. Let's connect to our replica. As soon as we hit the replica with a TCP connection, it is starting. Okay. Now connect to a replica and use the database and then select all from employees. Cool, we have our data. On top of that, we offer monitoring with auto recovery. We know that high availability is a critical component of your SaaS, and so we have mechanism in place to recover from node failures, network partition failures, hung processes, and more. Let's see what happens, for example, if one of the machines gets deleted. Let's look for a second our T3 small, so our replica machine, and just terminate it. Yeah, cool. And let's come up in a few seconds. Our replica is immediately unhealthy, but Omnistrate is trying to recover in the meantime. Let's see what happens. Okay, our health status is still not so healthy, but we are deploying back. So we are recovering from the failure. Okay, our replica is running back without moving a finger. Even better, Omnistrate helps with monitoring and recovery at each layer of the stack, from process failures, infra failures, including network partition to zonal failures. And if the issue is within the software, we can integrate with PagerDuty to send alerts with all the relevant information to our customer to debug it further. And just show you how it works. Add a service provider integration, alerts, choose the provider, insert the API key, and add the integration. That's it. On the fleet side, on top of our continuous deployment integration, as a service provider, you will enjoy monitoring with automated recovery, full fleet observability, and alerting integrated with your favorite tools. Then, you can manage your upgrades or schedule them. Let's schedule an upgrade for our provider plan. You can see we have an instance count of 3 on the initial version, but our current preferred one is the second. So whenever we deploy new instances, they're going to the preferred. Now, let's upgrade the old ones, version 1 to version 2. Then we can choose our preferred instance, now the master, and we can upgrade it to the second version. We can now see the differences between the versions, and we can upgrade. Now we automatically get redirected to the Manage Upgrades, where we can see the list of instances that are being deployed. Cool. We are back on the build side to enable something that you'll love. Something that will serve the purpose of billing your customers. So, navigate to your customer integrations, and on top of logs and metrics, we will just add the billing. Okay, this is great, but what does it take to build a service like that? Let's do a test and see how long it takes. I'm cheating a little bit. After naming and describing my service, I just copy-pasted the configuration that I will also provide to you. Now, let's build the service, choose the hosting model. We can have it in our provider account. We can have in BYOA mode. Let's choose the provider account in this case. You will check the configurations of AWS and GCP that we already pre-saved and build service definition. That's easy, right? We can now launch our instances and go to the access side. Try it yourself, sign up on omnistrate.com and go SaaS in minutes.